All right, he goes, he's a short form specialist with long form ambitions. I've read that actually online. Nice. He's played for Kent since he was 8 years old. He has, these are my words now, he has boyish good looks with a strong jawline and rapid bat speed. He's building a name for himself with England, but like any English player worth their salt, he's tasted the rough and tumble of Sydney grade cricket. And yeah, look, let's just face it, it's a great rig. We're talking.
It's a great salad as well.
It's a great rig. It's a great salad. Sam Billings, welcome to the Grade Cricketer podcast.
Thanks, lads. Thanks for having me. I'm honoured. I'm absolutely honoured, and always love a good word about the salad because I take care of it. So thanks, appreciate that.
Oh, no worries. Is that blonde's natural?
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of lemon juice in the Sydney sun, and away you go.
You're actually you're currently with the England team at the moment. You've just completed some media interviews, or so you said via text, maybe to hold us up, but. Where does the great cricketer sit in the pantheon of annoying media obligations for you?
No, it's one of the greats. A bit of a surprise. Couldn't be too overly keen and respond to you guys straight away, could I? So yeah, let you wait.
Years, actually.
But no, I'm honoured. No, it's good. I'm honoured. Like I said, I'm honoured to be on it, lads.
Bilbo, and I will call you Bilbo as well with that invitation. But I just wrote you up on you this evening, and you're sort of one of these guys who's naturally good at everything you turn your hand to. Turned down a Tottenham trial to play some county cricket. Excellent squash player, probably scratch golfer, rackets. Rackets. Bit of rugby. Like, is there anything you're bad at? What are you bad at?
No, music. I'm honking at anything to do with music. So. Yeah, absolutely terrible. So, yeah, sport, that's where I found my niche, and I just went with it, to be fair.
Big niche. I couldn't believe, we always try, any Englishman worth their salt will have spent some time playing Sydney Test cricket, as we call it, Sam, insecurely. So I couldn't believe my eyes when I read that you, a man of quite, respectable gentry, as far as I understand, found themselves playing for Penrith. In 2013, what wonderful people at Penrith. Let's just get that right. Beautiful people, great club. You've been given a bum steer there, though. Surely, is it a Trevor Bayliss thing? Who fucked that up? How have you ended up at Penrith?
Well, yeah, someone said I was playing in Sydney, and then all of a sudden, it's about an hour and a half west. But no, you're spot on. They were unbelievable, and that was the best thing I've ever done for my cricket, if I'm honest. Penrith looked after me fantastically, but it was a bit different to the eastern suburbs and where J. Roy found himself strolling around on Coogee Beach. But I was happy. A farming stock, so I was happy out there.
Can we drill into this? Was there a moment where you did get to the club and you went, "What the fuck is this? This is not. It is Sydney. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. Yeah. It's not coastal. It's not the postcard Sydney. Yeah. You know what I mean? Was there a moment where you're like, "What's doing?"
There are no harbour views.
Yeah, it was especially first couple of weeks. I was put up in a pretty kind of dodgy outhouse. I think it was kind of a late organised kind of thing, but I didn't have an oven. It was pretty ropey, so I did think for the first couple of weeks, and then luckily I got some runs in the first game. Actually, funnily enough, against J. Roy and the Eastern Suburbs, who just tore into me and gave me all the chat as per usual. But got 60 odd, won them the game, and I turned around and said, "Lads, is there any chance I could?" Sort something else out here, but before that, I thought,
change clubs.
Yeah, can I sort something? But I thought I got a few runs, so I could actually have a word. But before that, I just wanted to keep my head down and do the right thing. You see.
Yeah. What was it, in all seriousness, about playing at Penrith or playing in Sydney that was really helpful for your career? There's always joke about the stereotypes of it being rough and tumble in Sydney cricket and the abuse and the sledging, and it's much harsher climate than it would be for what English people are normally used to. But was that your experience, or what was it that made it so meaningful?
Yeah, just getting champed every single week relentlessly. So it was unbelievable because you have to just earn the respect of your fellow clubmen, but also around the circuit as well. I think every Sydney grade cricketer thinks they could play first class cricket over in England and said county cricket is rubbish. So we've all heard that before, but it was great fun. It just teaches you to grow up as well as a young kind of 21-year-old. You think you're better than you are, and you kind of brought down to earth pretty quickly. So I loved it, absolutely loved it. Made some friends for life, and facing Josh Layla and Pat Cummins in the nets every Tuesday and Thursday when the club captain's telling them to bowl at your head every other ball. So that was interesting, but no, it was a great experience, and I loved every minute of it.
Because your good mate, and he's your mate, Joe Denley, also played. He had a stint out in Sydney as well, didn't he? And there was a famous couple of years. There was a famous stitch up that went round. It was reported in a newspaper I can't name, but he mentioned that you had a bad sunburn, posting a photo of just some random bloke on the internet with a horrific sunburn.
Oh, that's shocking!
And then this newspaper just picked it up and goes, and there's like a full headline, Billings shocking sunburn. It's just the wrong bloke, not even the right bloke.
It was just a completely random bloke who he got a picture off the internet of. It was shocking. It was just really, really unenjoyable, that. It got some bad press for a while, so not ideal.
We'll move forward to the England stuff now, Sam. You're part of an ODI setup that's, seems to be destroying all comers at present, so much so that Tom Banton was moved to say that it's the hardest team to break into in world sport. I just wanted to know if anyone challenged that privately with Tom. I personally think the US women's gymnastics unit's pretty tough to get into.
Rackets.
Your own view,
yeah. Rackets was pretty tough as well.
Penrith third grade.
Penrith second team. I mean, they were flag champions last year, so I don't know what he's on about, if I'm honest. No, I'll have a quiet word with the youngster. You know what I mean? He's a 21-year-old. Maybe he needs a bit of Sydney grade cricket, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I saw that you earlier. I was in the last year. I think you announced that you turned down that you were going to you remove yourself from the IPL auction after a couple of years. Obviously playing under Dhoni at CSK. There, got yourself a winners medal in 2018, but you didn't want to play this year out of franchise cricket. So I just want to know what it's like to have too much money.
You're not the first person to say that.
He's got a level. There's a bit going on.
Ask Jimmy Faulkner that story. That was quite funny, actually.
Well, no, okay, I'll pick that up, actually. I was going to ask if it's true or false. This did get said to me. I could get this wrong, but this is the way it was relayed to me. You're playing for the Sixers against whichever team James Faulkner's playing for. You're at the non-strikers.
It was actually Kent. It was actually Kent. He was playing for Lancashire.
Okay. All right. This is how these things work. He gets rid of the striker, turns around and says to you, "That's why they pay me the big bucks." At that moment, a helicopter flies overhead, and you reply, "That's my dad coming to watch me."
Absolute tax on that, but there's some truth to that story.
That's amazing. What do you even say to that?
Not the helicopter bit.
Well, speaking of helicopters, I want to ask you, Bilbo, when you play with MS, I was obviously, you can pick his brain and great player and all that kind of stuff, but I don't really care about that. I mean, what do you talk to MS Dhoni about, the absolute rock star that is MS Dhoni? Is he interested in, Brexit, world affairs, coronavirus origins, or is he just like, no, this is how you hit the fucking helicopter shot?
Yeah.
How you look after your salad. That's what he wants to know.
Yeah, true.
No, it was unbelievable. He's a fellow Man United fan as well, so he just used to watch the football, and he's just very relaxed and chilled out. So amazing captain, amazing player, and someone I learned a hell of a lot off, especially in the role I'm trying to play. I'm not saying I'm anywhere close to MS Dhoni, but there's definitely things I've learned off him.
Yeah, sure.
Sam, sorry, I was just distracted. I was thinking about Donny van der Beek, where you want to play him. But I just one that's come out in the last couple of days, just like in response to concerns over his and Jimmy Anderson's perceived lack of pace in Australia. Stuart Broad yesterday said that, it's an irrelevant conversation if you're going to be bowled out for under 200. So I don't want to go into like the symbiosis of batting and bowling and the impacts of that and so on. Also, you might be on that tour, but I just want to know, in the social hierarchy of England cricket, how high do Broad and Anderson sit compared to their teammates, and just how afraid of them are you?
Thankfully, the red ball and white ball group are pretty segregated, so I can dodge that question nicely.
What's the deal with all the great like English wicketkeeper batsmen at the moment? There's Billings, Bairstow, Butler, Folkes, Ollie Pope, Rory Burns. Like like in Australia when Warren was going around, everyone was like, in 15 years' time, there's going to be leg spinners coming out of the ears, you know. And it's like, so I'm guessing like, was everyone's idol just Alex Stewart?
Geraint Jones.
Yeah.
Those Puma gloves, him and Gilchrist. No, we're lucky. We're very, very lucky at the moment. And Banton obviously keeps as well. So of course, we could field a team of wicket keepers, which would be pretty handy at the moment.
It's amazing,
so, no, I don't really know. It's just everyone's come along at the right time and wrong time for most of us because there's only one keeper. So got to keep trudging away.
Well, yeah, I guess that's probably the answer to my question as well. Like, what's the next step for you? You've got a solid footing in the ODI, the short form set up at the moment. I know you've said you want to play red ball stuff as well. How do you sort of blast through the other competitors and get yourself to the top, other than just scoring loads of runs against Australia coming up?
Yeah, I think it's just, for me, it's being as flexible as I can and adaptable in any situation, really. So at the moment, I'm finding myself kind of in the 5, 6, 7 role to try and finish games off, something that I'm pretty relaxed doing and have done for Kent for a long time. So it's just about taking opportunities. There's so much competition, certainly in the white ball stuff at the moment, that you've just got to get your head down and, like I said, just take it when it comes. And for me, I've been injured for quite a while, last year. So it's just not taking it too seriously and just enjoying back playing again, certainly in the international scene. So especially against you guys coming up, should be another great series.
Do you feel like when you've had your opportunities, Sam, like that, I always feel like when you come into the crease, there's either like 6 overs left or there's like 15 to win. Like even the other night against Pakistan, you scored 10 and then, 1 run to win, just not 1 to point. And it's just feel like, I've never felt like how many times do you feel like you've actually had an opportunity to properly build an innings? Or I know the one day game's hard and, get the opportunity to bat 50 overs, build momentum in an innings. But I feel like when the times you have played for England, you haven't had like 40 overs to bat or 30 overs to bat to really, make a score.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm not kind of making excuses.
Sure.
There's been times where I haven't taken opportunity, but there's been other times. I think the Ireland series just gone. It was the first time I played consecutive ODIs in like 3 years.
Right.
It was like kind of one game here or there and pretty sporadic. So just for me, it's nice to just get a run of games and just play. And like I said, when I've had time to bat, I had time to bat in the West Indies, and we're 4 down for not many and managed to get a score there. So it's just being adaptable. And like I said, when the opportunity comes, we just take it and do the best I can.
Because you've been in this setup for about 4 or 5 years, haven't you? You've always been really close. And then, like last year, during the World Cup, that was going to be you were set to replace Alex Hales, I think it was. And then you dislocated your shoulder, didn't you, for Kent? And it's just like lending the grade cricket lens to that thing of just like, as much as you want your team to win, you want to make finals, and you want your club to do well. And this club is interested as England during the World Cup, is what I'm saying. But that it must have been sort of bittersweet, I suppose, in terms of like really happy for the guys that well winning the World Cup, but also like that could have so easily been you.
Yeah, 100%. But at the end of the day, I know that I gave myself the best chance of being in that squad, and things happen that are out of your control. So it was, in a weird kind of way, it was a really positive thing that happened. You learn a lot about yourself, certainly when you get injured, and you don't take things for granted, certainly when you come back. So my captaincy as well has definitely helped, looking after other people, and injuries are just terrible, and it really does take its toll. So kind of that duty of care as well is really helped me gain a different perspective. But hopefully I don't get injured again. And like I said, it will be a really positive thing for my cricket, and you kind of just crack on, and certainly bad things happen, and like I said, you move on.
I saw that the match, what day is that, mate? Yesterday the match was on. The first time the BBC had played live cricket for 21 years. And so I wonder, that must have been pretty special to be part of. And do you think it was quite a similar feeling around the country when Owen Morgan went past 50 as it was when, Kieran Trippier bent one in top corner in the semi-final of the World Cup? Same scenes, you reckon?
Yeah, similar kind of vibe. Yeah, everyone in Trafalgar Square just chucking fists all over each other. Yeah. Too easy. Obviously, socially distanced at this point in time.
Of course,
yes.
Yeah. He said that. Yeah. All right, well, Sam. Well, I guess we wish you all the best against Australia coming up.
I guess.
Yeah, two clubs, just two great clubs playing against each other. Really appreciate you coming on the show as well. You definitely didn't need to do that in any way, but very much, grateful for you coming on, and all the best for the series and beyond.
Cheers, boys. Love your work. Go up.